So it's going to be good news for you because I'm going to share how you guys can start preparing for the coming economy.
Ruben, it's such a pleasure.
Ruben De Leon.
Ruben De Leon.
Why you keep hitting my lines? I'm ignoring every time. Why they trying to take my shine? Put me right under the water, the wise. I got everything you like. Magic in the mic, magic in your life. Checking on my job.
I come to you today with bad news. Not for you though. The bad news is for people who have not landed on this video. The good news is you are on the video. So it's going to be good news for you because I'm going to share how you guys can start preparing for the coming economy. Got a few notes down here that I wrote for you guys. Unless you're living under a rock, the economy is at a pretty unstable area right now. It's most likely going to get worse. It for sure is going to get worse for various different reasons, which we're not going to get into the technicalities as to why this is happening. If you want to do that, go for it. Figure it out, but I'm letting you know it's going down, it's going way down, and I want to help you guys prepare for what's to come. So the first thing you guys need to do is really just sit for like a few hours actually and analyze your industry that you're in, or the job that you're in, or the industry that you want to get into, and see if these industries are industries that only have success in a booming economy, or if the industries also have success in economies that are going down, or even in a economy that's going through a pandemic. Because you need to prepare for this, because if you do not, what's going to happen is when the economy goes down, maybe it's not going to be as good for you because that certain industry or that certain job only has success when the economy is booming. So you need to really analyze the industry you're in to see how it's going to be in a downturn economy. Even go look at stuff in the past on those industries, see how they did when there was a recession, see how it did when there was a pandemic. But from this as well, don't just go entirely based off of what went on in the past, because it may have been the industry didn't do good because people were not as creative, people were pretty lazy, people were not trying to recreate how their service or that specific business was going to be out into the marketplace. Because if you're super creative and you understand marketing and you understand branding and you're fairly on your toes with capturing attention and understanding the marketplace of whatever your industry is, then maybe in a downturn economy everyone else is bad, but maybe you're going to do good. But you need to analyze all this stuff. If you're not the type of person, then maybe consider jumping to a different industry, or maybe consider hiring an expert and asking them how should you prepare for the economy that's coming. Because if you're not the expert in those areas, then don't rely solely on yourself that you're going to be able to figure it out. Go hire somebody else. So that's step one. Step two is to make a plan of action with whatever steps you're going to be making depending upon how the analyzing went. Step one. If you don't make an actual step-by-step plan, then how do you expect anything that you want to do to actually get executed at the level that you want it to be executed at? Because majority of people, they just think of a plan and they think of things to do, and then they go out and they go try and do those things. But if they're not actually setting real expectations for themselves, real expectations for your team, real expectations for your business partners, and you're not actually tracking these things, then how do you truly know if they're getting done? You don't really know. You don't know the KPIs or anything to anything that's being done by you, your partners, your employees, or anybody on your team. You need to track all this stuff and make a real plan for everybody, because when the economy is going down, if you weren't planning for the months prior to that or the years prior to that, it's really going to smack you in the face when things go downhill. Because once they go down, sometimes it's not very easy to revive and just go back up just to make a quick change, because if it's going bad at that time, now you're going to realize like, damn, we should really get serious. When if you would have done that months prior, it wouldn't have gotten to that point in the first place. So make an actual plan. Step three is to access as much capital as you can and just sit on it. When I'm saying capital, I really mean just any kind of like capital you can get your hands on. Whether it's a line of credit, whether it's credit cards, personal or business, whether it's a business loan, SBA loan, various products. Some maybe I would not recommend, like a MCA loan, because it's just, MCA loans typically are not for everyday people, everyday business owners. Generally, if you're gonna flip the money very quickly, then you can consider getting one of those. But for the most part, people don't understand MCAs in a whole, and it actually puts them back. But other than that, access capital, because even if you don't need it now, it's better to not need it and have it than to need it and then you're not able to get it. And now, why would this happen? Because just to paint a scenario, some people, what happens is their business is doing good and they feel they don't really need any capital right now because they have income coming in on a monthly basis. Everything's going great. Now, everything has its ups and its downs, especially in business. You're always gonna have highs, but something's gonna change, especially with the year that we're in now, 2023. Things are changing routinely, like freaking AIs that are coming out that are gonna replace a lot of positions, replace a lot of partners and businesses. Maybe you don't need certain people anymore because this AI can now write the copy, they can do certain things. So there's a lot of things that change frequently. But with that being said, just because your business might be doing great now now, there might be something that changes either in the marketplace or in your industry specifically or in the world where that has a halt on it because of outside forces that are outside of your control to determine the outcome of how it's going to affect you. But if that does happen, what's going to happen is obviously your income's going to slow down, so your monthly revenue is going to go down. Maybe if it comes down to it, you're going to have to use your own money or your own capital, like not referencing the business's capital, but the money you have saved up in your bank account, you might have to use that for paying your employees or paying softwares or paying your team. Or maybe you have to use your personal credit cards and your business credit cards. Obviously you can use your business, but maybe you have to resort to using your personal because all your business credit card limit is used up. Now what's going to happen is you're going to have so much debt on your personal and you're going to be so low on cash, and now your monthly income's not as good. If you wait for that to happen and then you go out and try and apply to a lender, why would the lender want to risk any money to you when obviously business is not going too great right now? They're going to maybe extend you a little bit based on your business's past income, but more than likely they're only going to look from the past 3, maybe 4 months of what the monthly statements have been and what the daily balances are. So that being said, people who wait for the business to slow down and get real bad and they're in a stuck position where maybe they got to close the doors, maybe they got to go find money, if they wait for that time to get capital, it's going to be very challenging for them to get it. And even if they do, it's not going to be close to how much they could have gotten when business was going good. And on top of that, the interest is going to be even higher. So that's step 3, is to access capital so that you can just have it handy in case something happens that's outside of your control of the success of your business, right? So step 3 is super important. Obviously, we kind of specialize in getting you guys capital and getting businesses capital. We've funded over $100 million in various different products. So if you don't know how to do that, you can inquire to have us do it for you, and we'll be glad to do that for you. Or just consume our other content that we have and try to figure out how to do it on your own. Now, that's not even like a far-fetched recommendation, because routinely we get people who send us messages, or I jump on calls with people and they say that they've never even been in our programs and they've gotten themselves hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit just from consuming our free content that we put out like this. So if you want to do that, be my guest, share my success with you. If you guys need support in accessing capital, we can also help you with that as well. There'll be a link somewhere on the bottom to speak with somebody on my team to see what we can do for you. Other than that, that's step 3. Step 4 is to expand your brand more than ever. Now, obviously that should already be in the top of your mind to do that, because your business and your brand should always be obtaining more attention and being omnipresent, but put a lot more attention on your brand growing organically, because it's going to be very important and it's going to be very challenging as the economy goes down. There's only going to be a handful of people who are succeeding, maybe your industry or a lot of industries actually. There's only going to be a handful of people and businesses that are actually having success with their company, and whoever's going to come out on top is going to be the person who has the most credible brand and who has the most content that's being put out and being consumed by the marketplace. Because currently there's a lot of competition for majority of all the businesses, but as all those start to fall and there's only a few remaining, then consumers are going to have an easier time making a decision on who they're going to go with, whether it's a product, a service, any kind of business really. There's going to be less competition in all the industries, and the person and the business just putting out the best quality content around whatever their brand is going to be the one who's going to get most of the market share. So you need to expand your brand more than ever. You can do that in various different ways. You can be on more social channels, create more content, maybe leverage your current customers that you do have and figure out a way where you can have your current customers expand your brand by talking about it, sharing it on their page, referring people, sending friends and family to whatever it is that you're selling. Leverage what you already have. Majority of people, what they try to do is they think of how can I get new people to come to my business, which is a great thing to think of, right? But you should not neglect the current customers you do have, because if you have current customers, you already have great rapport with them and they might go above and beyond for you if you give them something else to go ahead and do that, which obviously would be like a commission structure or something of value, right? Maybe you have different tiers to your product or your business. Tell them, hey, if you share this on your social, or if you sign up 3 friends or 3 family for this product or this service, then we'll excel you to level 2. That's dependent upon if you have like a service-based business, but leverage who you currently have in your phone book and in your customer list to expand your brand, because there's no better marketing than your own customers who are giving people a testimonial willingly. Best marketing you can ever get. So that's step 4, is to expand your brand. Those are the main 4 steps that I think you guys should be focusing on and considering doing with the economy that's coming, because if you don't do it, like I said in the beginning, it's going to hit you hard when it does come. So if you have any questions, put them on the bottom. Happy to answer them.